guys, welcome to Just on Tarot. Alright, we're gonna get a look into your weekend of April 24th. Alright, we're gonna see how we're coming along, progressing in the weekend. Alright, remember, take what resonates, leave the rest. It's gonna be for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. We're going to start with spirit messages. We're going to see what spirit needs to tell you. We're going to run through the tarot and also clarify that. We might get some money messages for this upcoming weekend. Maybe a love message. Oh, all right. And hopefully here soon I'll be posting the monthlies for all zodiac signs if you guys are interested in hearing those. Please give me a like or a comment. Let me know. Let me know if you're resonating with any of this. If you're not, then please check your other signs. Oh, you might resonate somewhere with that. All right, well, let's get started. All right, we're going to start with Aries. All right, what do we have for Aries, Spirit? What message do you have for Aries for the weekend of the 24th? What do we have for Aries? All right. What do we have for Aries? We have the Camel. Trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. All right. So maybe you're going through something right now that you're not very happy with, or that you're feeling is kind of leaving you stuck in a sort of way. And you're trying to figure out a way to get through there, but I think Spirit's telling you you have the resources for whatever challenge you do have, whether that's work, maybe it's a relationship issue. I don't know, we'll have to get into that and kind of see where you're going with that. I feel like being open to maybe some possibilities. You know, maybe you need to ask for help. All right, what do we have for Aries coming up on this weekend? What do we have for Aries? All right. What do we have for Aries? What's the challenge right now that they're dealing with? Home life? Maybe it's a family situation. Some kind of... I don't feel like it's really a financial situation. We got the Ten of Pentacles. It's all about having what we want. So maybe your challenge is figuring out how to get that. We're not taking all those. Sorry, guys. All right. All right. Give me something that's present that we're working on. What are we currently working on? All right. The Ten of Wands. Are we just kind of dropping something, walking away from it? Maybe letting it go? Or maybe we feel like we've had so many challenges that we just need to kind of let go of that. If you are walking away from a family situation or some kind of financial, like you were doing really good and now something has changed, that might be very challenging. But again, universe is reminding you have the tools to get there. What's the outcome of whatever the situation is? We have the Magician with the Eight of Pentacles. the King of Pentacles on the back. So I feel like whatever it is you're walking towards, I feel like it's really just kind of having that financial stability, that growth coming in. And I feel like you're trying to maybe walk towards that or manifest that. And you're putting that hard work and effort in. And the outcome's looking really good. Like, I feel like you're finally figuring out the tools that you need. I feel like this is like you're wanting a Ten of Pentacles energy. Like, that's your thought process. You're wanting that stability. You're wanting that strong financial situation. You know, building those good foundations, living the life of your dreams, having the family, the house, the car, that whole 9 yards. And with this Ten of Wands, I think you're just kind of leaving it to, I'm not going to say chance, but kind of like laying down. It's like walking away from what's holding you back, you know, and you're starting to put that time and effort in. Maybe you're working with like a financial advisor or a banker. You're utilizing some kind of tool that is necessary to get you there. And you're starting to overcome and work through those issues. You know, with the King of Pentacles being on the bottom, I feel like that's telling me like you're very headstrong about this. Like, you want something solid. I like that for you guys. I don't really feel so much as like this is a love thing, as more as you're super focused on your finances right now. You're super focused on really building something, whether that's your career, whether that's buying a house, buying a car. Maybe you've been in some debt and you've been paying some debt off. And the universe is telling you, like, it's starting to come in your favor. Like, they're providing tools necessary to get you out of whatever that situation is for you. You know, just utilize those tools and put that work in, is what the outcome is telling you. All right. We are going to get a money message. And with that King of Pentacles there, I feel like maybe it's something you sit and like overthink. Like, it's kind of, it's steady progress. Alright. Well, what kind of work message? Work, finance, career, any kind of advice you want to give Aries at this time for this weekend going into next week? Any kind of advice? What do we have for Aries? We have travel. Embarking on a journey could be your path to wealth, as abundant opportunities await you in the world. And that's highly possible. That is, you know, maybe you are traveling for work, especially with this Ten of Wands. She's walking forward. She's got her bags packed. She is going. All right. See if we have any love messages for you. What do we have for love? I still don't feel like this is a love read. You can take it how it is. But I feel like you are solely focused on work, money, where you're going, how you're getting there, what needs to change, what needs to be worked on, and the life you're trying to create. All right. What do we have for Aries? We have alignment. Like a cosmic match made in heaven, we are magically aligned. We fit together naturally. Take that for however it resonates or whoever it's for. It might be a message you need to hear. All right. And I absolutely love this deck. It's kind of my favorite deck. So we're going to see what you need to let go to kind of make this all happen. or get where you need to be. All right, what do we have for Aries for this weekend and going into this week? What do we have for Aries? What do they need to let go of? All right. Surrender to play. Break free from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Let's not overthink the whole situation and just kind of let it flow. All right, that's what I have for Aries. Thank you guys. All right, we're moving on to Taurus. My lovely Taurus. I have no idea where I'm setting all my cards. All right. All right. Let's get you a spirit message, Taurus. I hope you guys are doing well. What does Spirit have for Taurus? What does Spirit have for Taurus? What does Taurus need to know for this weekend? What does Taurus need to know for this weekend? We're going to take it. Goose. Take time to rest, recuperate, rather than continuing your striving. It's dark in here, so it's kind of hard for me to read some of these. All right, so maybe you need to rest this weekend. Take a break. Maybe you've got a lot of things going on that you're trying to get done, and your body's just kind of not feeling it. Well, maybe you just need to take a break. Maybe sit on the couch, veg a little bit. All right, what do we have for Taurus for this weekend? What do we have for Taurus? All right. What do we have for the lovely Taurus? All right, we have two came out, Four of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles. And we have, what do we got? Six of Cups with Three of Wands. I feel like your challenge right now, the Four of Worlds, is maybe you've been out partying too much, maybe you've been out celebrating, you've been kind of out having fun, enjoying life, living it, you know, being to the fullest. It's like party time, let's get going, you know. Maybe you've had some marriages or weddings coming up, not marriages, maybe you are getting married. But there's been a lot of planning and a lot of things getting, like you've been trying to get done, and you're currently just so focused on building something new. I feel like new challenges. So like every time you do something new, it's always a challenge. You got to kind of like work through things. And with the Six of Cups kind of being your outcome over here, I feel like it's, you know, maybe take some time to kind of think through some things. It's a past energy, but it's a childlike energy. You know, maybe it's telling you you need to not be as serious, but have a little fun. I feel like Spirit's telling you to rest. My cards are telling you to have a good time. Or maybe it's a Six of Cups. Ooh, maybe you got a child coming. Give me one more. You got the Three of Wands on the bottom. I feel like you're currently waiting for something to come in, something to show up. You're waiting for it to be your time. I feel like your time is coming. If this Four of Wands has been like a very celebratory, like say you just got married, you know, it's congratulations, yay. If you did just get married, I'm very ecstatic for you. Congrats. And right now you're currently focused on like how you're gonna build. Like, how are we gonna build this life? How are we gonna do this? And I feel like with the Six of Cups, it's kind of like, what kind of family are we gonna build? Like, how are we gonna grow this? And it might be, I feel like it's all starting to become clear to you. If this is like a past situation and you're kind of remembering like the good times, but you want to focus on then like something new, I think the universe is telling you to do that. You know, the Ace of Swords is all about like being very clear, open, and concise with what you want, how you want to get there with your communication. And it's also epiphany moments. Like maybe you're thinking about somebody from the past and it's kind of maybe what you're wanting to do is build with them again, you know, but you're not really quite sure. So maybe you need to take that time out to really kind of figure out what you want and which direction you want to go in. I don't know if that makes any sense. Hopefully it resonates with somebody, but that's what I have. So, and this might be somebody you have a child with, somebody that, you know, maybe it is a child that you're trying to reconnect with. All right, that's what I have. We're gonna go on to, what do we have for work messages? Anything finance, work related, career, abundance, anything along those lines. What do we have for Taurus? What do we have for Taurus? Coming up this weekend into Monday, what do we have for Taurus? That came out really quick, so we're going to take it. Daydream. Having your head in the clouds can be a source of great inspiration. Be careful when your fantasies become the escape from reality. I feel like that's kind of that, this kind of energy right here with that Empress. It's like daydreaming what could have been, should have been. You're starting to awake to that. All right, what love messages do we have for Taurus? Right. What love messages do we have for Taurus? If it, what do we have? What advice do they have? There we go. Try. With all your shared interests and goals, we could easily be part of the same community. Maybe that's what you need to focus on, is your community. What you have at home, your family, your friends, you know. Alright. What do we need to let go of this weekend? What do we need to let go of to move on this weekend? Alright. What does Taurus need to let go of? What are we surrendering? Defensiveness. Alright, so maybe you have been a little defensive. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate is a more empowered way. Stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear non-defensive response. And, you know, that's might be what this is telling you also is, you know, be clear about your communications, you know, what you're looking for, what you're wanting, you know, but really take that time out to rest and figure it out. All right, that's what I have for you guys. Okay, moving on to Geminis. All right. What do we have for Gemini going into this weekend? What do we have for Gemini going into this weekend? Up until Monday, what do we have for Gemini? One more. All right. What do we have, Spirit, for Gemini? What message do they need to hear? I don't know why I love the way this card sounds when I shuffle. All right. Right here. Oh, we got camel. You might have Aries in your chart. Okay. Trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. All right. So, like Aries, you might be going through something, and you know, maybe you need to trust that you do have resources, you do have options. There are all kinds of resources out there for whatever your situation is, you know. Let's get a little bit deeper dive to see what's going on. Alright, what do we have for Gemini coming up this weekend? Alright. What's the challenge right now? I'm not going to take both, but we're going to take that one. Page of Cups. Maybe you're waiting on an apology. Maybe you need to give somebody an apology. Alright. Justice. Feeling like something isn't unfair, it's balanced. It might be a legal situation. Alright, what's the outcome of this? Alright, Three Cups. Celebration. The Devil being on the bottom. Maybe you feel like you're owed an apology, or maybe you're just kind of dealing with somebody that wasn't very in tune with their emotions or very in tune with what they wanted. I feel like this is more of an apology, like you're waiting on an apology. I see possibly an apology coming with this Justice card. You know, you're kind of wanting everything fair, balanced. This also might be like giving yourself some love, you know, maybe working through some kind of issues among yourself or with yourself, especially when it comes to the Devil being on the bottom. I feel like maybe you've been dealing with a whole lot of negativity, maybe some kind of narcissistic behaviors or something toxic. Maybe you've been dealing with addictions or anything like that, and you're trying to figure out how to show you some kind of love, or I feel like kindness, showing yourself some kindness is kind of what I'm getting. And with that Justice card sitting in your present, like you're trying to figure out like how to balance all of that out. You know, she's kind of looking at herself with these scales, and you're trying to maybe weigh out the options. I mean, justice to me is always about kind of evening out the scales. What do I have I can't think of how I want to say this. Am I giving enough of myself? Or am I giving too much of myself? Your outcome is the Three of Cups. So I feel like there is a celebration on the horizon. And it's just telling you, you know, do your research, look into ways to help yourself. Don't deal with toxic people. Maybe find people who support you, or programs, or anything along that lines. I don't know. I feel like that was like super specific, so I apologize for that. But maybe it's something somebody needed to hear. So, on another note, maybe you are dealing with somebody that is highly toxic. You know, there's been a lot of fighting, a lot of negativity, and you know, you were hoping for that apology, but with that justice, like, do you really need that apology, or can you just kind of walk away from that situation and just focus on your own celebrations? You know, get with friends, go out, do things, you know. And maybe that's what that resource card is. Like, you have that support coming in. All right. All right, we're going to get finance, money, career. All right. What do we got for Geminis coming in this weekend? For money, career, finance, what do we got for Geminis coming in? No, I don't know. Geminis maybe need to go back and look at the Aries read, and there might be like a hidden message in there for you. All right, or maybe you have Aries in your chart. All right, host. Whether your space is physical or digital, you can find a lot of fulfillment in being a host. No idea what that means. There you go. You take it or leave it. Maybe that's what this Three of Cups is like hosting something, getting together. All right, what do we have for love messages? What do we have for love messages? Maybe you're finding your community too. Like, you're finding people that kind of align with you. That might actually be like online or something along that, you know. You might be into like online gaming, and maybe it's telling you to like get a little bit out of your comfort zone and maybe start something. Take it how you will. All right, what do we have for love coming up this weekend for Geminis? What do we have for love? What do we have for love? All right, trauma. Okay, that's that double at work here. I'm trying to work through my trauma so I can be whole for you. So it is highly possible you were dealing with somebody that was not quite, I mean, realistically speaking, everybody's healing. It's always a healing journey, but maybe somebody who hasn't quite worked through their trauma enough, and that's kind of what they need to focus on. All right, what do we have for Geminis? What do they need to let go of this weekend? What do they need to let go of this weekend? What do we have for Geminis? What do we have for you? What are we surrendering to? Non-action. Now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. And I like that for you guys. And I feel like that's what some of this is, you know, kind of being in your own world. I don't know. I wish you the best, Geminis. All right, we are now moving on to Cancer. All right, what spirit messages do we have for Cancer? What spirit messages do we have for Cancer this weekend of the 24th? Yeah. It's kind of a weird shuffle. All right, what do we have for Cancers? What spirit message do we have for Cancer? We have Cardinal. The polarities of your spiritual pursuit and physical pleasures are out of balance. So do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. So maybe you're off balance. So I'm feeling like a very unhealthy work-life balance. Or maybe you have like too much going on and you're needing to take a step back and just kind of take that time to be one with yourself. All right, what do we have for Cancers coming into this weekend? So what do we have for Cancer? The sign of Cancer. What do we have for Cancer? No, taking all those. What is the challenge right now? What do we have for Cancer? What do we have for the sign of Cancer? What do they need to know right now? Okay, what is your challenge right now? The Hierophant. I feel like that needs to go with that. So I think it's pretty much what the Cardinal's saying, is like, you're not really in tune with yourself right now, and I think maybe you're taking that time this weekend to really get clear with what you want and where you want your life to go and kind of where you're headed. All right. Present. I feel like that's creating new ideas, new dreams, new goals. You know, maybe you're wanting to have a kid, or maybe you are pregnant and you're trying to plan, like, how do I do this? How am I going to get forward? Type of energy. But I like it. I like it. What is the overall outcome of this situation? What is the outcome? You got the Queen of Wands and the Emperor in reverse. King of Pentacles. I think with the King of Pentacles, you're going to keep moving along with whatever situation this is. Whether it's work, love, home, situation. I think right now you're just trying to get back to you. And with the Ace of Wands there, it's kind of like that aha moment. What do I need to change? What do I need to create? How am I going to create that? And being in your outcome, I think it's less about not being creative, but maybe less about being so stuck in one direction on how whatever the situation is going to be. If it's your spiritual path, maybe opening those doors into new ideas, new possibilities. If it's work or career, maybe changing the way something's being done because it feels forced or stagnant. And I feel like this is you kind of dropping your guard with this Queen of Wands and the Emperor in reverse. I still feel like you have that Queen of Wands energy, but a little less of the stubbornness with it. And it's telling me that you're open to receiving, you're open to maybe channeling those things that you want in your life. But you also are, I think you're kind of stuck in where you want to create, how you want to build something, whether that's your career, whether that's your relationship, like how to build it. All right, let's get career messages. All right, what do we have for Cancerians for this week? What career messages do you have for Cancer? Career, what do we have? Finances, stability, what do we have? This weekend going into Monday. Walk away. Whatever you're doing now isn't working for you, but you are willing to walk away to make some room for something better. And maybe that's what part of this is like maybe you're stuck in a relationship, a job, or career that doesn't quite align with what you want. And you're presently thinking about how am I going to change that? How am I going to create that? And with the Queen of Wands and the Emperor here, it's kind of like being feeling stuck in a particular situation so you can make another situation grow. And that is highly possible. Like, say that you're doing two jobs, one job that you really love and one job that you really don't like. But the job that you really don't like is the one that's financially supporting you, and the job that you do love isn't quite where you want it to be able to be in that financial position. And you're kind of stuck in that energy of like, I know I really don't want to do this. I really want to do this, but I can't let this go quite yet to focus all my energy on the one job that I love. So I feel that's kind of where you're at. And I feel like once you kind of let one of those go, like everything just kind of fits into place and you're just kind of, it's like a teeter-totter. I see a seesaw. It's juggling. I know we don't have any like twos out here or anything, but it's a balancing act. But I do see like good things with this King of Pentacles. It's like whatever and however slow, like you are determined and you are driven to make whatever this dream, whatever this Empress is, you are determined to make it a reality. Alright, what do we have for love for Cancer? And this could be a relationship, this could be like starting a family, this could be like buying a house. Maybe you're in the process of buying a house and you gotta get the other one sold first or something along that line. Alright, what do we have for money? Not money, sorry. Love. Where did you do the money card? What do we have for love for Cancer for this weekend? What do we have for love? I'm not taking all those. What do we have for love? There we go. Unexpected. Open your mind to, say it again. Open your mind to be receptive to me. I am not all that you're expecting. That might be interesting. So maybe you're trying to get out of your comfort zone with love. But whatever that situation is for you, I mean, whether it's like love, relationship love, or love for a passion of a project, I feel like you should be open minded. Be receptive to what you're getting. And I feel like that's what it's kind of talking about is like walk away from what's not really fulfilling you. Like, I mean, be realistic about it too. Like, don't just I don't know, I'm feeling like just don't up and quit your job or anything like that, but like start being in your own light. Like start moving in the direction of those things that you want. All right, Cancer. I don't know if that resonates or who that resonates with, but I wish you all the best. All right, we are moving on to Leo. All right. I'm gonna grab a drink, guys. All right, what spirit messages do we have for Leo? What spirit messages do we have for Leo? What do we have for Leos? What spirit messages do we have for the beautiful Leos? Alright, what spirit message do we have for Leos? My beautiful Leos. Alright, what do we have for Leos? Well, it's gonna come out. Alright, mountain goats. There's something out of balance in your life, so do whatever you need to do to correct it. So, I'm feeling like Spirit's saying, well, very clear, something's out of balance. So, whatever's out of balance, maybe you need to take some time to figure out how to put it back into balance. I mean, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, what is the challenge coming up for Leos this weekend? What is their challenge? What is their challenge? What is the challenge? What do we got? Ooh, the wheel in reverse. Nothing moving? Nothing changing? Feeling stuck maybe? Or you don't feel like it's your time? We've got the Empress coming out again. Alright. The outcome for whatever the situation is. What is the outcome? Temperance, patience. Ooh, Nine of Swords on the bottom. So whatever this situation is, I feel like maybe it's not the right time, or you feel like it's not the right time, or you feel like things aren't moving in the timely manner that you were hoping they're moving into. But with the wheel being in reverse, I feel like everything's just kind of like you're feeling like everything is halted and maybe unfair, unbalanced, not moving. I feel like the universe is telling you to take a pause. Maybe take care of yourself a little bit with this Empress card. You know, take some time to nurture yourself. Maybe focus on a little bit of self-care and have a little patience. Move forward with the Temperance card. I don't know if you guys can see these all super well or not. So, but we do have the Nine of Swords on the bottom. So maybe you're not getting enough rest. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you're overworked. Maybe you're super stressed out. Maybe you've got some kind of situation that has to be done in a timely manner and you're feeling like you're not going to be able to get it done. You know, and it's causing you a lot of anxiety, stress, some sleepless nights. You know, maybe whatever the situation is has you in a lot of tears, and you're just kind of trying to figure it all out. And you're like, why isn't this changing? Why isn't this moving? You know? And maybe the universe is telling you to take some time out. Like, maybe focus on yourself. Get out, maybe go get your hair done, your nails done, maybe go for a walk, you know, maybe start a hobby, start a project, and just kind of have patience. Not kind of have patience, but have patience with whatever this is. This could be a love situation, this could be a job situation, whatever the situation is that's got you kind of stuck in your head. Like, I feel like it's maybe not the right time, and you should be focusing on you. And I think that's part of that getting balanced. You know, maybe you're so overthinking a situation that you're not focusing on the right situations. Take that however it resonates. I mean, that could be really anything. Like, whether it's love, job, really anything. It's not super specific. No. Alright, what do we have for career this weekend for Leos? What do we have? I don't know why I'm just super thirsty right now. So maybe you're just super dehydrated. You need to start focusing a little bit on your health. Denial. Are you refusing to face reality about some aspect of your financial life? Alright, that might be part of it too. I did say that in the beginning. That maybe this is a financial issue and you're trying to spend that well. Like, are these bills going to be paid on time? Am I going to get this when I need to? That kind of situation. You know, if you're in a financial situation though, maybe not go get your nails done, but, you know, maybe take a nap, read a book. You know, I feel like sleep might be good. She's sleeping in here. She's beautiful, but she also has the world in her belly. So you create the life that you think. All right. What do we have for love for Leo? What do we have for love? Oh. What do we have for love for this weekend? What do we have? What do we have? Alignments. Like a cosmic match made in heaven, we are magically aligned. We fit together naturally. So, hopefully you got somebody super supportive, or maybe you're meeting somebody super supportive, or maybe that's what you're waiting on, is that alignment to come through so you can create with somebody. But no, the universe is telling you to have patience with yourself, okay? All right. What do we need to let go of? What do we need to surrender this weekend? What do we need to surrender this weekend for Leos? What do we have for Leos that we need to let go or surrender this weekend? Alright. We have to inner peace. Alright. I love that. See if I can read this with no light over here. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. So I feel like that's kind of what universe is also telling you. It's a very pretty card. Alright? Is like, get in that nurturing states. You know, get some rest. Be still. Everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. And just kind of get out of your head a little bit. Alright, that's what I have for you, beautiful Leos. Oh. All right, we are moving on to Virgos. All right. What do we have for the lovely Virgos? All right. What spirit message do we have for this weekend? Going into the week. What do we have for Virgos? What spirit message do we have? Going into this weekend, what do we have? I'm just hearing more laundry. Maybe that's just me. Alright, what do we have for Virgos? Tiger. Alright. You're being called upon to provide leadership and trust that you're capable of doing so. Okay. Here. Okay, I read that wrong. So, you're being called upon to provide leadership, so trust that you're capable of doing so. So maybe right now you're learning how to trust yourself, or you're being called to trust yourself. So maybe you're putting in a situation that, you know, maybe you're getting promotion at work. Maybe you're being in charge of something, and you're kind of like, can I really do this? And maybe you need to start trusting yourself, because if somebody else is trusting you, you know, maybe you should put that trust in yourself. Alright, what do we have? What's the obstacle for Virgo right now for this weekend? What is the obstacle? What is the obstacle? What's the obstacle? Page of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like this is more... Okay. Alright, what's the outcome? They apparently were not done. What's the outcome? What's the outcome? There we go. So I feel like in the past, like the challenge of the past is really just believing in yourself, believing on working through something, or believing in how you're going to put some work into something. The Page of Wands in this deck, she's kind of like a carefree spirit. Like, her wishes for command, she puts it in the air, and she's just like, it's out there, we'll see how it happens, but really focusing down and putting that work in is kind of like the challenge mode you're in right now. It's like, I want it, but how am I going to work on it? So currently you're just kind of focused on your money, and maybe you're overspending right now. But it's still a very good, like, independent energy. But the outcome with the Hierophant being in the reverse, I feel like that's like not trusting yourself, or not trusting that the universe is going to show up when you want it to, kind of energy. You got the Ten of Swords on the back, which means something ended, something was very, very painful. And maybe the universe is telling you with this Tiger card that it's calling on you to be a leader. Like, show up for yourself. or maybe show up for whoever's depending on you. You know, thoughts or beliefs. With this Page of Wands here, you know, you're projecting them out. You're trying to think of how I want to say this. It's like being creative and fun at the same time, but with that Eight of Wands kind of, or that Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Wands slipped out. So maybe it's like something that's happened quick or fast. You know, maybe something ended very, very painfully, and you're trying to figure out ideas on how to work through something to kind of get back to this independent energy, or to get back to being financially stable. You know, but right now you kind of really have no faith in the situation, whatever the situation is. Like, say you went through a really bad breakup, and or your marriage ended, or you lost your job, or something along that lines, or you're just put in like a really bad situation that just was a very abrupt, painful, like, break off, and you're trying to like be somewhat positive about it, but try to navigate the directions that you want to go, or like, I know what I want to say, but I'm kind of tongue tied with it. It's like you're really passionate about fixing something, but not really knowing which direction you want to go in. So, but I think the universe is telling you to trust yourself. Like, you can lead, whether you're leading yourself or somebody else, you can step into that light. And maybe like you're focused on trying to make yourself feel better. You know, maybe you're going out, you're changing your appearance, or you're changing the way you, like, your stance, your posture type energy. Like, you're standing with your back straighter. No, but I still think like subconsciously you're just not quite like all the way there. That was kind of a weird read, maybe super specific. It might not be for everybody. That's kind of where I'm at with it. All right, going on to career. What do we have for career for Virgos? Money, career, stability. I feel like they kind of focused on their money. All right, what do we have for money for the Virgos right now? What do we have for money? Money and career for Virgos. What do we got? We got obligations. You have some prior contracts or commitments that still need to be filled before you completely move into the next stage of your journey. And I feel like kind of that's what this is right here, is the obligations. Maybe that's the word I was looking for earlier today. All right. What do we have for love? What do we have for loves for Virgos this weekend? What do we have for loves? All right. What do we have for love going into this weekend? Ego. It's that Nine of Pentacles energy right there. Will your ego allow space for us to have an equal partnership? Maybe that's some of what you need to work through, is maybe having that ego, maybe kind of dropping your guard a little bit. Because I feel like the Hierophant in reverse is like maybe letting go some of that ego. Alright, let's see what you need to let go of. Alright. What do we have for Virgos? What do they need to let go of this weekend? Alright, one more. Okay. Alright. I mean, that was quick. Surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about one person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. Oh, sorry guys. All right, maybe that's kind of what you're working through too. Is like maybe there was a painful ending with somebody, and you're kind of trying to figure out a way to work things out. And Spirit's saying, you know, maybe you need to stop over analyzing the entire situation, like focus on you, what you want, your career path. All right. I hope that resonates, or at least reaches somebody that needs to hear it. We're going to be moving on to the Libras. All right, Libras, how we doing today? We doing all right? All right, let's get a spirit message for you. All right, going into this weekend. Spirit message for Libra. What do we got going on for Libras? All right. Came out. I'm not going to take them. If they want to come out again, I will. All right, what do we have for Libras? What do we got going on for Libras? Spirit message, please. Emu. This is a good time to go on a new adventure. So maybe you need to travel, find something new to do. Adventures could be anything. You know, you could take an adventure down a book, you can take an adventure down a rabbit hole, you could be traveling, you know, getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. All right, what do we have for Libras for this weekend? What do we have going into this weekend for Libras? All right. What do we have for Libras? What's the challenge right now? It's all the Page of Wands in there. Nine of Wands. Maybe you're thinking of places to go for an adventure. All right. What's the challenge for Libra right now? The Tower. Maybe you feel like everything is kind of crumbling down around you, or something needs to change. You know, you're trying to figure out how to, I feel like, kind of move the energy. Maybe you're feeling kind of still stagnant. Maybe you're feeling kind of stuck, and something's got to move. Maybe that's what that getting out on a new venture is. All right. How's that? We got two. Nine of Swords in reverse and the Ace of Swords. I feel like you're not really clear about what direction or kind of where you're going right now. I feel like it's kind of chaotic. Maybe you're not being real with yourself. Nine of Swords generally in the upright is all about like having a lot of anxiety, and with it being in reverse with the Ace of Swords, it feels like you're not what's the word I'm looking for? You're not really being open-minded right now. You're kind of being shut down, closed off. Maybe you're ignoring somebody, giving somebody the silent treatment, you know. There's a card flipped over in here. I don't know where it went. We'll find it. Alright, what's the outcome of whatever the situation is? What's the outcome? We got two. Oh, there's that Page of Swords again. Alright. Ooh, with the Chariot. So maybe you are thinking about traveling right now. I feel like right now, like your current situation, everything is kind of chaotic. Everything's kind of falling apart. You're not really quite sure what's going on. Like, it's a whole bunch of just, ugh. It's like a breakdown in communication, breakdown in, it's just a breakdown, you know? I'm kind of drawn to this lightning. It's like you're watching, you feel like everything's kind of falling apart. And with the Nine of Swords and the Ace of Swords kind of being in your current like energy this weekend, is I feel like you're just kind of holding it in and you're not really being open to other possibilities, other options. You're just kind of trying to avoid whatever this is. And maybe it's saying like you need to go on an adventure to clear your head. So like maybe I feel like traveling, getting somewhere new. I don't know if you can see that. It's really pretty. You know, one thing I love about the Chariot here is the Chariot's kind of driven by your own mind. Like you're leading these two horses. They want to go in different directions, but you're trying to rein them in a little bit and trying to discover what path you're going to go in. So whether this is like a relationship that's shaken up, a job, family, whatever kind of mess this is in, you know, maybe doing that new adventure would help kind of clear things up for you a little bit. I feel like the outcome is really positive. You know, maybe you're doing some research, maybe you're getting more into your own spiritual needs, maybe you are, I feel like you're just kind of deep diving into where you align. And that's kind of the direction. And that's kind of part of that getting out on a new adventure is it's kind of, I always feel like travel is super good for a healing process because it sets aside all of the other stuff so you can kind of focus on you yourself. It's a good way to clear your mind. And I feel like that's kind of what universe is telling you right now is like whatever this challenge is, this tower, all these things breaking down and shattering, like and you kind of avoiding it isn't really working for you. And the universe is telling you to be creative, get out there, show, like, do some research, do some work, you know, and that's part of that going down that rabbit hole I mentioned earlier, you know. But you got to kind of like decide in which direction you're moving towards, because it's going to happen regardless. All right. I don't know who that's going to resonate with, but we're going to move on to the career and finance. What career and financial advice you have? What do we have? Libras. I don't know why I'm so burpy today. I'm so sorry, you guys. What do we have for? Okay. Career change. Does your career fully align with who you are physically, emotionally, and spiritually? And maybe that's what some of this is. You know, maybe you had a situation at work that caused a lot of chaos and you're just kind of keeping to yourself right now, and maybe you're just looking at other possibilities. But I feel like you have forward movement with that, Chariot. Alright, what do we have for love? What do we have for love for the Libras? What do we have for love? Alright, what do we have for love? What love messages? Mistaken. I'm not the person who is in your life right now. Have you mistaken the wrong person for your soulmate? So, I mean, maybe that might be the situation also, is like, maybe you feel like you're not really aligning with somebody and it's causing a lot of chaos. And you're just kind of like not willing to see the signs that the universe is giving you. And I feel like the more you put into yourself, that work, that effort, especially with that Page of Wands, like doing the research and trusting yourself. You know, one of these days I will really actually fix my camera views. That you will kind of align with somebody that you're ready for. Alright, what do we need to let go of for this weekend? Going into Monday, what do we need to let go of? I didn't shuffle those very well. What do we need to let go of for Libras? What do they need to let go of? What do they need to let go of? I'm not shuffling these very well. Alright, what do they need to let go of? The wisdom of your body. You can see that. It says, listen to your body's messages about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you are energized and happy, move forward. And I think that's some of what this is too. Right here with this Nine of Swords, you know, are you really listening to yourself? And I don't think you really are right now. You're just kind of very close off to what your mind and your body is telling you. And maybe it is time to kind of flip that and really, really listen and be in tune with what your body is telling you. All right, that's what I have for you, beautiful Libras. All right. And figure out where all my cards went. Okay. All right, moving on to Scorpio. All right, let's get a spirit message for you lovely Scorpios. All right, going into this weekend, what do we have for Scorpios? What does Spirit want to tell them moving into this weekend? What do we have? the Walrus. Remain vigilant about current situations. Pay attention to signs and omens and let them dictate your choices. So maybe you're seeing some signs or some omens that you need to pay attention to. Maybe you're not quite catching what the universe is putting down. Alright, what do we have for the Scorpios? What do we have for my beautiful Scorpios? Alright, what is our challenge right now, Scorpios? What are we not seeing? What is our challenge? Okay. Maybe getting out, feeling. We got the Three of Cups. I feel like that's all about getting out with your friends, maybe doing things. So, I'm kind of stuck on the Big Dipper that's up in there. So, I feel like it's more about, like, you're not paying attention to maybe who you're surrounded with or, like, what's going on. That Three of Cups. You know, you could be out. It's kind of like missing out on priorities. You know, I like the Three of Cups though. I always think it's a very positive card, depending on the reading. But maybe your focus is a little bit in the wrong direction with this Three of Cups. I might have to get a clarifier for that one. All right. But right now your presence, the Six of Pentacles. It's about maybe being balanced. All right, what's your outcome? Is the Page of Swords. You might have some Libra in your system. Alright, on the bottom we have the Empress. Okay, maybe nurturing new ideas. We're going to see what this Three of Cups is on your challenge. Eight of Wands with the Two of Wands. Maybe where you're not celebrating and you're communicating, but I feel like you're maybe not pointing in the right direction. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Take it how it resonates, but I feel like you got a situation here that feels like it's not equal or it's not enough give and take with the Six of Pentacles. Maybe it's kind of like, are you giving what you're putting in type of energy? And maybe it's time that you get creative. You know, we do have the Empress on the bottom. It's all about being creative, expressing, nurturing, like ideas or relationships, you know, those things to mean to you. But, you know, your back's turned to whatever this is in this Three of Cups, and you're focused on maybe situations you really shouldn't be focused on. And, you know, maybe these are conversations you've had with this Eight of Wands. Wands do talk about passion, drive. To me, it's also about, like, which direction are you headed in? Like, and you got the Two of Wands clarifying it. Like, do you feel like you're in the right direction? Are you paying attention to what's going on around you? You know, especially if you feel like things aren't really quite balanced out, fair or even. And maybe you're trying to think of like some ideas to get it there. But I feel like at the time you're willing to, whatever situation it is, you're willing to nurture it. Like it's something you care about. It's something that you definitely want to create and you want to build upon. So I love that. Just pay attention to the things that are going on around you. Pay attention to your surroundings. You know, I know Wands also talks about very quick, swift movements. And I don't feel like this is like a breakup read or like really a work read or anything like that. Just a general, like, pay attention to what you got. Make sure it's like you're putting your effort and your energy in the right places. Oh, I hope that resonates with somebody. All right, we're going to get into your career messages. All right, what do we have for career? For this week, like, what advice do we have going into this weekend? What do we have for Scorpios? I love Scorpios. Pressure. Be aware of how family influence and social pressures are influencing your career choices. And maybe that's kind of what this is about too, is like maybe you're off celebrating things and like that's kind of the directions you want to move, but is that really what you want with those two of wands? You know, so be very conscious of the decisions that you make this weekend. All right, what do we have for love? All right, what do we have for love for this weekend? What do we have for love? What do we have for love? We'll let it roll. All right. Family. I'm excited about starting a family with you and creating new traditions. So maybe you're having a baby. I love that. Love that. She's got the whole world. So, I mean, that's kind of part of it too, is I feel like, you know, if you're out spending more time with friends than family, or, you know, you have a job that's overtaking a lot of your time and you're not able to actually, like, spend that time with family, I feel like it's telling you to find a healthier balance. But, you know, maybe you need to go about it and be creative. But all of me, like, pay attention to what's going on around you. I feel like that is the message that the universe is trying to give you. Like, pay attention to those signs, pay attention to what's going on around you. All right, what do we need to let go? What do we need to let go of? What do we need to surrender for this weekend for Scorpios? What are we letting go of this weekend? All right. All right. What are we letting go of? What do the Scorpios need to let go of? Surrender to creativity. And that's that Page of Swords you see right here. Is like maybe finding some ideas to balance this out. Let go, let your imagination soar. Stay open to the creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. And I feel kind of like how that all ties in is, you know, get creative. You know, you do have the Empress, you do have the ability to get creative, you know, come up with ideas, maybe a plan, and how to kind of balance this out. All right, that's what I got for you, Scorpios. Oh, I feel like that was kind of a specific message, but might be for a couple of you guys out there. All right, moving on to my Sagittarius. What do I got for the Saggies? What spirit message do I have for Sagittarius? What do I have for Sag? My beautiful Sagittarius, what do I have for you guys? What does Spirit need to tell you for this weekend coming up? We're not taking all those. Sorry. Alright, what does Sagittarius need to hear from Spirit right now for this weekend? I still love the way the cards sound. It's kind of like, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's like denim rubbing together. Alright. That one popped out. Okay. Spider. Maybe you're a little hungry right now. Trust the creative spark that you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. So maybe you need to do some journaling this weekend. Maybe some writing. Maybe you're trying to write a book. Maybe you're just trying to write down thoughts and feelings. It might not just be like, it might just be expression. So like, maybe you're painting, maybe you're being creative. Alright, maybe you're planning a project and you need to write it down. Alright, what's the challenge? What is the challenge for Sagittarius? Sorry, I couldn't talk. What is the challenge for this weekend? What do we have? What is the challenge? Alright, Sag. What's the challenge? The world. Are we clearing out a cycle? We starting something new? Alright. What's the present? What's the current? King of Swords. Alright. And the outcome. What is the outcome? The Queen of Pentacles. Like this. Alright. With the Ace of Swords on the bottom, I feel like you're starting to get clear. It's like you're having that epiphany moment. It's like, aha, it's a breakthrough. I love that. It's a breakthrough. And I think this is about, like, your challenge right now is the world. It's about cycles closing out. You know, so maybe you're ending some karmic cycles. Maybe you're ending something that's should have been ended a long time ago. And you're starting on that next chapter. And I feel like what that spider is about is writing your next chapter. When the universe talks about writing, I don't feel like it's talking about like just words to a paper. It's also about writing your life story, like what you want to see. And you do have the King of Swords, and swords are about communication. It's about putting words to, I don't know how to say it. Like the King of Swords knows what he wants and he speaks the truth. And he's very adamant about how to get there. Like he's very, I'm feeling stern about it. Like that's kind of how I'm feeling. It's like right now I feel like you're being very clear, open. Maybe you've been in some kind of bad past situation, whatever that situation lies for you, and that cycle is ending now, and you're starting this next new beautiful chapter in your life. And you've got that King of Swords. Like, I know where I'm going, I know what I want, I know where I'm headed. Like you're starting to write that for yourself. And with the Queen of Pentacles being in that outcome, like I genuinely, sincerely love that. I feel like energized with this read. It's It's beautiful. It's creating something new. And I love the Queen of Pentacles because she's all about creation to me. Like, she takes care of herself. She's financially stable. She's financially driven. Like, she has a solid foundation. And I feel like that's what you're starting to write into your world right now. As you're getting very clear about, like, where you want to grow, who you want to be, you know? And she just trusts. Like, she doesn't have to worry about it. She just, I feel relief. I feel like a weight has been lifted type of energy. Like, I absolutely, absolutely love that. And for whoever this is for, it's beautiful. Like, I love this. It's like you are finally making yourself your main character in your own story. Like, you're writing yourself as your hero. And I love that for you. That may not be for everybody, but for whoever this is for, like, that's just wow. All right, let's get a career message for you. All right. It's like a switch being flipped. I kind of feel like it's just, it's like I don't want to live in this energy anymore, and you're just kind of like, we're doing it differently now. I don't know. I love it. All right. What do we got for Sagittarius for career, money? What kind of advice? What are we looking forward to? What do we got for Sagittarius for this weekend? We have Fortune. I love that for you guys. When fortune appears in your life, limitations disappear. As you sit back and watch your dreams manifest before your eyes, you're filled with a profound sense of gratitude and wonder. And that's really what I'm feeling right now. You know, and I feel like that's this Ace of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles energy right now is like you are just grateful. And man, it is a good energy. So whoever the Sagittarius is, or Sagittarius, I don't know how to say that plurally, but whoever it's for, like, I feel like you're just in a really beautiful, beautiful state of gratitude. Look, I didn't even put my cards in the right spot. We have I put the Queen of Pentacles back on the bottom of the deck and the Ace of Swords. So I feel like it's still telling you the same thing, that, like, you're being very clear, concise. Like, you know what you want, you know where you're headed, you know how to write your story, and you're just truly grateful for it. I love that. Such a pretty, pretty energy. All right, what love advice do we have? I feel like you guys are just loving yourself right now. You guys are standing in your own power. All right, culture. There are cultural, I can't read. There are cultural norms and expectations that I need to overcome before we can really be happy together. And maybe that's that cycle that's ending right there. But I feel like you're just truly focused on you. So take that how it resonates. All right, what are we letting go of? What are we letting go of? Sagittarius for this weekend, what are we letting go of? All right, one more, what are we letting go of? I feel like just unfazed, unbothered. Surrender to success. Oh my God, it just keeps getting better, you guys. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into exciting new world of possibilities. I love that. Oh my God. That's so awesome. That is that chapter ending. Oh my God. And that King of Swords, like writing your own story. Like, I love that. And surrender to success. I cannot get comfortable in this chair, guys. I am trying so hard. But, and just soaking it all in. Oh my God, it's such like, I feel like I'm on a high right now. All right, Sag, that's what I have for you. Love that. Absolutely wonderful. All right. I hope whoever that reaches, that is the story for all of you. Like, that is just amazing. All right, moving on to the Capricorns. All right, what do we have for the beautiful Cappies? Capricorns of the zodiac sign. All right, what do we have for you? I know, I don't always shuffle the same way. All right, what do we have for Capricorns? All right, what spirit message do we have for the Capricorns this weekend? What do we have for the Cappies? All right. We have Seagull. Now is the time for deep emotional healing. So maybe you're taking a break, taking a time out. Maybe you've had some kind of situations that's kind of put you in your feels that you need to take a break from. Just kind of focus on you at the moment. All right. What do we have for Capricorns going into this weekend? What do we have for the Capricorns? All right. What's the obstacle or the challenge? Those popped out, so we are going to keep them. Okay. All right. What's the present? The current. Okay. And the outcome. Two of Pentacles. With Temperance. So I think the underlying message is have patience. Okay. There's a lot of I feel like the challenge is being able to put yourself back out there, but are you really emotionally healed up yet? And I mean, you can have emotional trauma from a bunch of different things. It could be a relationship gone wrong. It could be, losing somebody. It could be losing a job. It could be losing a car. Like, I mean, there's all kinds of situations. But right now, I feel like you're kind of just, you're stuck in your own, like you're stuck in your own thought process and you can't really get out of it. Like you want to offer something, you want to be open to the new idea of possibilities. This could be the new possibility of a relationship with the Ace of Cups here, but I feel like it's more about being open to just loving something in general, but it's like you take 1 foot forward, 1 step back with this Eight of Swords card because you're like, well, what if it doesn't work out? What if it does? Kind of energy. It's kind of hit and miss. But I feel like your challenge now is maybe getting out of your head a little bit with this Eight of Swords, not a little bit, just getting out of your head in general. Okay, and that's probably what that emotional healing is about, because the more you start to heal emotionally, the more those constraining thoughts don't really sit on you. I feel like presently you're kind of focused on how to build something stable, whether that's a job, family, you know, and that's kind of your solely focus is like that abundance you can bring. And currently, right now, I think the universe is telling you to, you know, you got to find, I feel like find balance because you have two balance cards up here. So you have the two pentacles and you have the temperance. So the temperance is you got like the sun and the moon, and it's having like patience for everything to work out. But I haven't done this for the other reads, but I'm going to do it for yours just because it's you have the two of swords behind that. So it's the indecision, and I feel like that's kind of where you're stuck at. So whatever traumatic experience you had or you went through, I think right now you need to sit down and you need to focus and work through it. And just kind of like maybe focus on less teeter-tottering. Like you're kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like I'm okay, no I'm not, I'm okay, I'm not. And maybe really sitting down and focusing on, okay, I'm not okay, what do I need to do to be okay? And then you finally got this 10 of Pentacles, and currently in the situation that you're focused on, like you want to build something, you want to create something, you want it all, but you can't get there quite yet until you have take that time to kind of get out of your head and focusing less on the negative aspects of things, like I can build it, no I can't, I can build it, no I can't type of energy. Because you can build it. You just have to take some time to heal whatever this situation is. Because I don't know if it's a love situation, a work situation, a medical situation, or whatever you have going on. So, but the universe is telling you, like, healing, you heal over time. So be patient with yourself. All right. Let's get a career advice. What do we have for career and money? What do we have for career and money? All right. What do we have for career and money for the Cappies? Unworthy. Do you genuinely believe in your worthiness to attain the abundance you desire? And I feel like this is what this is right here. So this is what you're wanting, is you're wanting that 10 of Pentacles. Like that's currently in your thought process right now. Where you're stuck at is, do I have enough to give to it? And that's what that unworthy is talking about. Like, do you have enough? And of course you have enough. If you desire something enough to let's see if I can say this right. If you put the love and energy into something, the universe is going to give it back to you. But part of it is not feeding into the negativity that you have that's kind of draining you. I don't know if that makes sense, but and I feel like once you start saying I am worthy of having this, I am worthy of having this, like everything kind of follows. You gotta be patient with that. Like it does take time. All right, what do we have for love? What do we have for the beautiful Cappies and love? We have growth. Don't see, I can't read today. Don't feel like you have to be perfect for me. You've already done a lot of self-work, and our relationship will be the opportunity to grow together. Maybe that's part of it too. You know, maybe there's somebody that you want to grow with, you just don't know how to grow with, or you don't feel like you are ready to grow with. So take that how it resonates, guys. All right. What do the Cappies need to let go of? What do they need to surrender for this weekend? What do they need to surrender? What are they letting go of for the weekend? To Spirit. Surrender to Spirit, guys. I keep coming over here because my light's over here. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let the Spirit work its magic for you. And I feel like that's kind of like that temperance also is having that patience. Everything comes in its own time. All right, that's what I got for you lovely Cappies. All right, we are now moving on to Aquarius. All right, the lovely Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius? What spirit messages do we have for the weekend? For the beautiful Aquarius. Alright. What do we have for Aquarius? Alright, what spirit messages do we have for the beautiful Aquarius? The gorgeous water carriers. We have the Wolverine. You're a lot tougher than you think you are. So maybe you're dealing with something that you feel like you can't overcome right now. And then the universe or spirit is telling you, you're pretty tough. You are the water carriers. You're much stronger than you think you are. Maybe that's something you need to hear. But I feel like the universe is going to give you a strength to get through whatever you're getting through right now. Alright, what do we have for the challenge for Aquarius? What do we have for Aquarius? What do we have for Aquarius? What's the challenge? I feel like they're not talking right now. I'm not going to take all that, but I did see the Six of Pentacles, so maybe you're feeling like things aren't balanced very well. Alright, what do we got? What's the challenge for Aquarius right now? Okay. Two of Wands, indecision. Alright, what's the present? The Nine of Swords has been coming out for a lot of people lately. Alright, patience, temperance also. Weekend to be patient. Alright, what's the outcome? Ooh, Wheel of Fortune, we'll take it. Alright, with Five of Wands on the back. I still can't get comfortable in this chair. But I move a lot, so it's okay. Alright, so Five of Wands, whenever I see the Five of Wands, I always think some kind of internal conflict. And with the Two of Wands and the Nine of Swords being in your challenge right now, I feel like this is like you're kind of stuck on a crossroads on which direction you want to go, where you're headed, and it's really leaving you stuck in your head. Like you're losing sleep over it, you're incredibly tired. Maybe the situation has been incredibly stressful and it's starting to take its toll. But the Two of Wands is also telling you, like, you have the world in your hand and you can pick a direction anytime you want. You can get completely out of this energy. And I feel like that's what you're kind of trying to focus on doing with this Temperance, is you're trying to keep moving forward, you know, but I feel like it's kind of like a slow and steady race. Not so much a race, kind of like a stroll, especially if you have been dealing with inner turmoil or even conflicts in general. Like, you know, I just kind of feel like it's internal conflict, so take it how you will. It might resonate with you, maybe it won't, but I really just feel like it's internal conflicts. Like maybe you're battling internally with yourself, and the universe is trying to tell you you are much stronger than you think you are. Just keep moving, you know, one foot in front of the other. But I think the challenge is right now is trying to decide in which direction you're going to go in, because obviously you are very stuck in your head about it. But have patience with yourself, you know. I keep hearing Rome wasn't won in a day or didn't win in a day. I don't know what that saying is, but you guys know what I mean. All right, with the will being in the outcome, I absolutely love this. I feel like everything's gonna start to turn in your favor. You know, everything will that you're hoping will start to get better. It's just kind of like a teetering situation. Like she's balanced on this will, and it just really depends on like what direction you're headed, where you're wanting to go, especially with this Five of Wands. And I feel like this might be like a breakup or something along that lines. I'm not really feeling like a loss of job, more like a lost relationship, or you're stuck in a situation like a relationship maybe you're trying to get out of and you're not really quite sure how to get out of it. That type of energy. And if you are in a relationship that you are trying to get out of, like, do what's best for you, you know. I feel like once you start doing what's best for you and you start moving in that direction, like a lot of this anxiety you have in this Nine of Swords over here just kind of drops. And maybe you start getting an extra hour of sleep, or you start getting a little bit calmer and you can breathe. It feels very heavy, but universe is telling you, like, keep going. Whatever it is, keep going. Keep doing what's right for you. Like, wands are also about passion. Keep moving in the direction that you're passionate about, that keeps you out of this energy right here, okay? And be patient with yourself, okay? It all takes time. All right? But everything does kind of work out in your favor. It's just it's everybody's time is different. But I will tell you again, like, you are so much tougher than you believe you are. All right. Let's get a career message for you guys. I feel like some of the messages I have today are very specific. So take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. All right. What career messages do we have for Aquarius? We have training. You still have some new skills to acquire before you can really advance to the next stage of your career. And I feel like that's kind of like not just talking about career. I feel like that's also talking about this situation. Like, you still have a few things to learn, but like, stay strong. And if it is a job, like, You get there, just, you know, put the work and effort in. All right. What do we have for love? What do we have for love for Aquarius? What do we have for love? What do we have for love? Heartbreak. I'm not ready for you yet because I'm still processing healing from my last relationship. And maybe that's kind of what that internal conflict is. Whether that's you or your other person, you know, they need some time to heal, take care of themselves. You know, I feel like if this is a work situation and you're kind of having an internal conflict in which direction you're going to go, like, the universe is telling you to make the decision that is best for you. But the minute you do pick a direction and you feel like the weight has been lifted, then you kind of know that you've made the right direction. And that Temperance card is telling you to kind of trust yourself because things are changing for you. So take that how it resonates. Thank you, Aquarius. All right, we are now moving on to Pisces. All right. Going on to Pisces. All right. How we doing, Pisces? We doing all right? I hope so. What spirit message do we have for Pisces going into this weekend? What spirit message do we have for Pisces? I think they're hungry. My tummy is growling. All right. What do we have for Pisces? What spirit messages do we have for Pisces? All right. Kiwi. And it's literally kiwi. I don't know what a kiwi is, but they're cute. Do a walking meditation each day for the next week. That is very specific. All right, so maybe you need to get out in nature. Go for a walk. Walking is very healthy. It helps you clear your mind. It's also very good for you physically, so maybe you need to go out, clear your mind. Maybe you need to get a little physical. All right, what do we have for Pisces? All right, what do we have for Pisces? What's the challenge right now for Pisces for this weekend? What is the challenge? What is the challenge? I feel like they're hungry is the challenge right now. It might just be me. Alright, so maybe you're dealing with some kind of deception. Or maybe you're planning. We'll see. Two of Swords. Okay, now I know where you're walking for meditation. Alright, what's the outcome? What is the outcome here? Justice. Okay. We have the Chariot on the bottom. So, whatever the situation is, it's going to move. I feel like with the kiwi, getting out and walking helps clear your head. Okay? Especially if you feel like if you're planning something or if you feel like somebody's been lying to you, you have the moon. I think you need to like trust your intuition, trust your judgment, but maybe going on those walks for those meditations, they kind of clear your head out, kind of give you time to process or think. I do kind of want to see what the Seven of Swords is. What kind of energy is this? I have the Temperance coming out with the Hierophant. Alright, so I've got two different directions in which this is going to go. Alright, so if this is a love situation, we're going to start with there. If this is a love situation, maybe you feel like right now the challenge is you feel like somebody has been deceptive toward you or been lying. And, or maybe they're just kind of moving at a snail's pace with this Temperance. And maybe if you saw somebody that you thought was like a big part of your life with a Hierophant here, or you thought was somebody you thought you could marry. And with that Page of Cups being there, it's kind of like you feel like they need to apologize for something, or they're coming in with an apology for something, but you want an apology of some sort, you know? With the Chariot being on the bottom in this situation, I feel like it was something that happened super fast. Like you weren't expecting it. It just came out of nowhere. And you may just be patient waiting on some sort of apology. You know, this could be the Hierophant tells me it's like somebody that is a high structured person in your life. So could be a spouse, could be a boss, could be something along that lines. But you are definitely dealing with some kind of deception and just patiently waiting for somebody to come in to apologize. And you're definitely in your head about it with this Two of Swords. You like am I even gonna believe them? Like it's kind of being blinded to the truth. And the outcome is you're you're gonna have the justice that pulls out. Like you're gonna know. And I feel like that's kind of like balancing things out for you. Kind of putting everything on an equal playing field. But I think the universe wants you to take some time and to really think about the situation and kind of process it. Now, if this is like a career move, I think the universe is telling you to make the move. You know, move forward, but decide a direction. Um, you move the Chariot with your mind to decide which way you're going to go. With the Seven of Swords here, it's all about planning, strategizing, and being patient with the way you plan things. And it's all about trust with the Hierophant here. And taking those opportunities with that Page of Cups. But it really boils down to like your contemplating, you're strategizing, like how you want to build, but you're also kind of being patient with the way things work out. But you are definitely pouring your love into it. With the Two of Swords being like currently in your thinking about is like, I love this idea, I love this thought, now how do I get it off the ground type of energy and trying to sort that out. You know, you have definitely a lot of balancy type cards here. I'm gonna say we have the Temperance, we have the Two of Swords, we have the Justice, we have the Chariot. It's all kind of about like that give and take and what direction you want to go in. And I feel like by the end of it, you're gonna know. Like it's it's gonna be well balanced out. You just gotta it's like being in a creative thought process. You're like wanting to start a project. Like you kind of have a general idea of how you're gonna build it, but you're not really quite sure in which direction you're gonna build it. So you're just kind of being patient and trusting the process and being open to it. Like, you have a lot of love for what you're doing. You're just kind of like blinded in which direction you want to make it work. But I feel like it's all going to work out with this Justice card. Like, it's going to turn out very fair, balanced, and work out for you. Just maybe take the week to think about it, to kind of figure out what direction you want everything to go in. And even if that's a relationship too, like, really take the time to think about and what direction you want this to go in. Whether that resonates for you guys or not, I hope it does. But I mean, I feel like I got like 2 different stories there. I mean, the Justice card could talk about like legal situations. I don't really feel that here. So take that how you want. And if this is a legal situation, I feel like you're just kind of overly stressed about it, and maybe just take a deep breath. All right, what do we got for career for Pisces? What do we have for career? What do we have for career? Financial freedom. When you are financially free, your lack of money no longer defines the limitations of your life. And maybe that's that project you're trying to start, is having patience, but also having a little bit of faith and continuing to pour that love into it. But you just kind of need to pick a direction in which you want to go. Okay. All in its due time is kind of what I'm hearing. All right. I do love that Chariot energy. I mean, regardless, everything is going to keep moving forward. All right. What do we have for love? What love advice do we have for Pisces going into this weekend? What do we have for Pisces? Creativity. Love that. I'm excited to collaborate with you and curious to see what we create. When 2 creative souls join forces, the results can be profoundly beautiful and rewarding. So, you know, maybe I feel like that's creating that new life for you. But take that time to meditate about it. All right, what do we need to let go of? What do Pisces need to let go of for this weekend? What do we need to let go of? Alright, what do we need to surrender? What does Pisces need to surrender? What are you guys surrendering? I got 2. Okay, we're gonna take them. All right, we have surrender to the belief scarcity. All right, the universe is asking you to open to, let me try this again because I still can't read. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. And I feel like that's what some of this is. Maybe the universe is asking you to move on from this energy. Take that time to meditate. Surrender to divine timing. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. If a goal isn't manifesting fast enough according to your ego, be patient and trust the universe's flow. All right. And I feel like that kind of works in with this too. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate the time that you've spent here, and I am very grateful to you. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you.